Hello?
From glowing figures spotted in churches to mysterious shadows caught on home cameras.
Mommy, your grandma's here. And she says, "Hi, Jamila."
Here are the unbelievable times when real spirits got caught on camera and shocked everyone.
Liam, come here. Liam, right now.
There's nothing here, and I need to finish this video.
She was recording a simple video, just like she had done many times before. Everything looked normal, until something strange caught her eye. In the mirror behind her, a shadow moved across the glass, but she was alone. Her smile faded, her face turned still. The shadow didn't match her movements. It was separate, like someone else was in the room. Fear took over, and she quickly ran out, leaving the camera behind. Later, people who watched the clip said the mirror might be haunted, with a spirit that only shows itself when no one expects it.
I'm going to...
Church angel.
Falling through. Who's this?
People say the past never truly leaves places like this, especially not in forgotten churches. One man found that out during a quiet visit to an old building that had long been abandoned. As he stepped deeper into the shadowy halls, his eyes caught something unexpected. A woman in white sitting silently at the front. Her pale skin and lifeless stare didn't look real. She didn't move, but the air around him felt heavier with each second.
Hello?
Overwhelmed, he turned and rushed out. Even now, he doesn't know who or what he saw, but he's certain he wasn't alone in that church. Heavy footsteps. It started as a quiet night, but that didn't last long. A couple relaxing at home suddenly heard faint sounds rising from the basement. Curious and a bit unsettled, the man went to check. Step by step, he walked into the darkness below. Everything looked normal at first. Just as he turned to leave, a steady thumping echoed behind him.
Hello? Oh my God!
Like footsteps following his every move. He turned quickly, but the space was empty. Not wasting a second, he hurried back up and locked the door. Whatever it was, it didn't show itself, but the house didn't feel the same after that. Spirit in Mosque. A quiet video from a mosque in Indonesia has been leaving viewers with an uneasy feeling. In it, a group of children sits peacefully on the floor, unaware that something is quietly watching from above. On the rooftop, a pale figure stands still. Its face looks tired, almost sad, but with an edge of anger. Some believe it wasn't a person at all, but a spirit drawn to the sound of children's voices. For a few moments, it lingers there in silence, as if caught between staying and letting go. Then it fades into the shadows, leaving behind more questions than answers. Whatever it was, its presence felt real and strangely human. Glowing mystery.
Pip? Come here, guy.
She was casually filming her cat one evening when something unusual happened. As she pointed the camera toward the room's doorway, she noticed a pair of glowing eyes peeking from behind it. Thinking it was just her cat, she called its name. To her surprise, the cat slowly stepped forward from the same doorway. Yet, the glowing eyes didn't move with it. They stayed in place for a few seconds longer, then quietly faded away. She still can't explain what else had been there, watching from behind the door alongside her pet.
Buddy?
Kid spirit. They had just started settling into their new home when something unusual happened. In the middle of the night, the man woke up to the faint sound of a child crying. He stepped out of the bedroom and saw a small figure walking down the hallway. It looked exactly like his son. Without thinking, he followed the child, calling his name. But before he could reach him, his wife whispered from behind, that their son was still asleep in bed. Confused, they checked the security footage the next morning. What they saw gave them chills. A gentle figure, shaped like a child, moved silently through the hallway. They believed it to be a silent guardian, stepping through the home to leave behind a blessing for their new start. Spirit in home. They only meant to explore for fun, just a group of friends curious about the old house at the edge of town. But deep inside its quiet, broken halls, something unexpected happened. One of them paused, pointing toward a corner where a small figure stood half hidden behind a wall. It looked like a little girl, still and pale, watching them closely. As she stepped forward without a word, an uneasy silence filled the air. The group didn't wait. They turned and ran out, their laughter gone. Later, none of them could shake the memory. The girl hadn't followed, but it felt like she stayed with them anyway, like her presence didn't end at the doorway. Lifesaver. One evening, a man was chatting on the phone in his kitchen when suddenly the faucet started turning on and off by itself. He thought it might be a simple glitch at first. Then he heard a soft sound. Something had fallen from a nearby shelf. When he looked over, he realized the stove's flame was still burning high, something he hadn't noticed before. It felt like an angel was quietly watching out for him, gently guiding his attention, just in time. That quiet presence kept him safe, reminding us that sometimes protection comes in the smallest, most unexpected ways. Mirror spirit. A young man was home alone when he decided to film a short video in his room, but as he turned toward the mirror, he caught something strange, a witch-like figure staring back at him from behind. He quickly turned around, but there was no one there. The mirror, however, still showed the eerie image for a few seconds before it faded. Many who saw the video believe it wasn't just a reflection. Some say it was a mirror spirit, quietly watching from the other side of what might be a hidden portal. Security cam spirit. One night, a man heard odd sounds coming from his yard, but didn't see anything unusual when he checked outside. The next morning, he decided to review the security footage just to be sure. That's when he spotted something strange, a dark, creepy figure hiding behind the wall. It didn't move much, but its head peeked out slowly, staring straight at the camera. Then, just as quietly, it vanished out of view. He had no idea who or what it was. He wondered if it was a quiet spirit watching from the shadows. Angel visits hospital. In a hospital famous for strange stories, something unusual was caught on camera. Late one quiet night, when the halls were still, a sliding door slowly opened and closed by itself. No one was nearby to cause it. The gentle movement felt like an unseen presence guiding the door. Those who watched the video believed it wasn't just a coincidence, but a visit from an angel watching over the hospital. Whether real or not, this moment added a sense of comfort to a place known for its mysteries. Moving chair.
Liam, come here. Liam, right now.
A babysitter was sitting quietly on the couch, watching TV with a child in an empty house. Suddenly, the chair next to her began to rock gently, moving back and forth as if someone invisible was sitting there. Concerned, she called the child to her side for safety, but the child was too far away to be the cause. Feeling uneasy, she called the mother to check. When the mother arrived, they still couldn't explain what had happened. Some moments remain a mystery, leaving only a quiet, unsettling feeling behind.
Okay, I'm calling your mom. Just stay right here.
Shadow Stalker. Strange things had been happening around the house. Lights flickering, doors moving slightly, and an odd feeling in the air. Curious, the man set up a camera in the living room before heading upstairs for the night. Everything felt quiet, but when he checked the recording the next morning, something unexpected showed up. A faint, shadow-like figure followed him up the stairs. It wasn't shaped like a person. There was no sound, no clear movement, just the silent form of what seemed to be a spirit, calmly walking behind him. Mountain Angel. On May 26, 2025, people in the city of Mancherial, India, witnessed something they still can't explain. A bright, glowing orb appeared in the sky and slowly came down, landing near a mountain. The light was strong but soft, and many residents saw it from their homes. Locals have started calling it the Mountain Angel, believing it watches over the area. So far, no one knows what it really was, or why it appeared that day. Cemetery Spirit.
As you can see behind me here, we have a few gravestones.
A news reporter stood near an old cemetery, calmly speaking about recent reports of strange activity in the area. The camera kept rolling, catching every word. But something else was caught too. Right behind her, a dark shadow appeared. It didn't move, didn't shift, just stood still in the distance. At the time, no one noticed anything unusual. It wasn't until they reviewed the footage that it became clear. There was no one else there. That shadowy shape wasn't just a trick of light. Whatever it was, it didn't belong to the world of the living.
Behind me here, we have a few gravestones, but what you can't see...
Grandmother Spirit.
Where is my grandma? Where is she?
I've been having. How old was she?
93.
A woman was filming a lighthearted moment with her young daughter. They were laughing, sharing a quiet evening when the mood suddenly shifted. In the middle of their chat, her daughter looked around the room and said calmly, "Grandma is here." And she says, "Hi, Jamila."
Mommy, your grandma's here. And she says, "Hi, Jamila."
The woman froze. That name, Jamila, was something only her grandmother used. It wasn't mentioned around the child, not even once. Her grandmother had passed away years ago at the age of 92. The room felt still. She stopped recording right away, her hands shaking. It didn't feel scary, just deeply personal, like someone had reached across time with a soft message. The woman still keeps that video saved, unsure what really happened, but certain it meant something only she could understand.
Mommy, your grandma's here. And she says, "Hi, Jamila."
Moving Cup. A girls' gang had gathered for a game night when it turned into a shock for them. A plastic cup sat untouched near the middle. Out of nowhere, it began to slide across the surface all by itself. No one reached for it, and nothing else in the room moved. For a brief moment, they all froze, eyes fixed on the cup. Without saying a word, they got up and ran, leaving behind the cards, the table, and the cup that never needed a hand. New house. It was a quiet, happy evening as the couple stood outside their new home, recording a short video to remember the moment. They were laughing, talking about the memories they'd make inside. But later that night, something in the video made them pause. Behind the front door, a tall figure with long hair and soft, glowing eyes could be seen. Still quiet, almost curious. They hadn't noticed anything when filming. A few days later, after talking with neighbors, they learned about a spirit believed to stay in the house. Maybe it was just watching, not to scare them, but to welcome them. Angels of Town. A man posted his home security footage on the internet. A group of shadowy figures quietly walked out of a house, crossed the road, and disappeared straight into a wall without a sound. Without a trace. Locals who saw the video began calling them the Angels of the Town. It wasn't just a technical glitch or a camera fault. The way they moved together, silent and calm, gave an unusual sense of peace. The video spread quickly, but no one has been able to explain who or what those silent visitors really were. Spirit caught on cam. This son, sitting with his father, didn't know he's about to witness his soul passing through this world. At 6:20 a.m., moments after his father's last breath, a soft, blinking orb slowly rose from his father's soul and floated gently to the side. The son believes his dad may have waited for him to sit along and sing for him one last time so that he could get peace. Dog spirit. One quiet night, a woman heard the sound of dogs running through her house. Confused, she got up to see what was going on. No one was there. Later, she looked through the CCTV footage, hoping to make sense of it. What she saw left her silent. Two faint, glowing, dog-like shapes were moving through the hallway. Her living dog had lifted his head and watched them, almost as if he knew who they were. The figures then ran softly toward the hallway and faded away. She had lost her previous dogs years ago, and now she believes those gentle shapes were them, just stopping by to visit the home they once loved. To her, it felt like a small, quiet moment of love returning. Angel protecting woman. This clip has left many viewers puzzled. A woman was crossing the road when a speeding car hit her, but she didn't fall or even move. The car passed, yet she stood completely unharmed, as if nothing touched her. People who saw the footage couldn't explain it. There was no sign of injury or damage around her. It felt like something unseen had protected her in that exact moment. Some believe it was an angel watching over her. Whatever it was, the moment felt quiet, strange, and impossible to forget. Angel saves man. A man was standing near the edge of a busy road, unaware of the danger behind him. Just then, a stranger appeared, gently tapped him on the shoulder, and pulled him back, right before a speeding vehicle rushed past. The moment was caught on camera, and it spread quickly. Viewers were amazed by the perfect timing. But what truly caught attention was that the stranger disappeared into the crowd within seconds. No one could identify him. Shadow figure. At night, a family began hearing footsteps from a room that was supposed to be empty. Curious, they set up a camera to catch what might be causing the sounds. The next morning, the footage revealed something strange. A dark figure drifted slowly across the room, its shape blurred and unclear. The family watched quietly, not knowing what to make of it. Was it a spirit or something else entirely? One thing was certain, the room held a strange presence that couldn't be easily explained. Spirit of the lake. During a quiet baptism ceremony by the lake, something unusual happened. As the chanting began, the surface of the water started to ripple, without wind, without movement from anyone nearby. The waves formed gentle patterns, almost like they were responding to the words being spoken. Those standing close paused, unsure of what they were seeing. Many believe it was the spirit of the lake, a holy presence resting on the water and making itself known in that moment. The calm setting, the soft ripples, and the timing left everyone present with a sense of quiet wonder. Hospital spirit. In July 2022, a strange video surfaced online that quickly caught people's attention. It showed a doctor hurrying out of a room and into the corridor, where a few attendants were sitting. Just seconds later, a wheelchair rolled out of the same room, completely on its own. There was no one pushing it, and the hallway was still. The wheelchair moved quickly before disappearing through the hospital's entrance. People who saw the video were stunned. Many believe it could be the spirit of a patient making one final exit. The clip still leaves viewers with questions. Angel visits home. The night camera showed a quiet, still room. Nothing seemed out of place. But then, without warning, a single chair began to move slowly on its own. There was no wind, no one nearby, and nothing touching it. When the homeowners reviewed the footage, they were surprised and a little shaken. But instead of fear, they felt calm. To this day, they believe it wasn't something to be afraid of, but an angel visiting their home, leaving behind a small sign of its presence. Village angel. A trail camera placed along a quiet village path recorded something no one expected. Late at night, a figure in white slowly came into view. It walked gently toward the camera, sat for a moment, then stood up and ran off into the trees. When the footage was shared, villagers said they had seen her before. Many believe she's the village angel, known to appear when someone is traveling alone at night. They say she never speaks, never harms, just watches. To some, she's a gentle sign of protection, quietly reminding people that they are not always alone. Angel protecting cow. This security cam from a quiet farm caught something calm, yet unexplainable. A cow stood completely still, staring in one direction without moving. Moments later, a soft figure appeared in front of it, light, gentle, and almost glowing. The figure reached out and seemed to pat the cow gently, then slowly faded away. The farm owner believes it could have been an angel protecting the animal, or maybe the quiet return of a caretaker who once looked after the animals with love. Abandoned house encounter. This man decided to explore an abandoned house that people rarely went near. As he walked through the dusty rooms, everything seemed quiet until his camera caught something strange. In one of the rooms, 2 little girls were standing still, side by side, looking straight ahead. He stepped back in shock, and when he gathered the courage to look again, the room was completely empty. There was no sound, no sign anyone had been there. To this day, he wonders who they were. Some believe they were spirits. Others say they might have been angels appearing for a reason only they knew. Angel visits patient.
Who is it?
A mother staying overnight with her daughter in a children's hospital in Arizona noticed something that didn't feel normal. Her daughter, feeling weak but awake, suddenly started talking to her one imaginary friend. Curious and unsure, the mother quietly took out her phone and asked her daughter to make him turn on the faucet. And this is what happened next. The water flowed as if replying to her words. Well, it could have been a gentle spirit, simply responding in the only way it could.
Wait, so are we friends now? Can you do it again if we're friends now?
Hospital bed angel. One patient on his journey towards recovery began experiencing strange things inside her hospital room. So one day when she had enough, the lady grabbed her camera and tried to record each corner of the room. Though she didn't realize it at that time, she caught the culprit in the act. The footage showed a clear figure passing right through the B viewers. Believe it was an angel, a peaceful presence just passing by, but the horrid color and the spooky vibe says otherwise. Patient spirit. A Facebook user shared a video that left many viewers unsettled. Captured in Buenos Aires, the CCTV shows the hospital's automatic doors opening on their own around 3 a.m. No one appears on screen, but the security guard reacts as if someone has just walked in. He picks up a clipboard, notes something down, and even brings a wheelchair forward, gently guiding it. After realizing that he had been pranked by the ghost, the guard told that he catered to a tall woman who vanished after a few moments and never came again. Parking area witch. A roadside security camera caught something unusual late one night. A faint figure of a lady dressed in white stood near a parking area, barely visible in the dim light. She didn't move, just stood there quietly. Then, a truck came by and turned to take a cut on the road. As it passed through the spot where she had been standing, the figure vanished completely. There was no sign of her anywhere. People who saw the video were puzzled, and soon, locals began calling her the parking area witch. The moment remains unexplained, leaving behind a quiet sense of mystery. Farm spirit. A man had just bought a farm, looking forward to a quiet new beginning. One evening, as he sat in his car outside the house, he glanced up at a window. That's when something strange appeared, a dark figure standing behind the glass. The house had been empty, and no one else was there. The figure didn't move and disappeared shortly after. When he checked the house, it was still locked from the outside. Later, he came across stories from old neighbors about strange sightings in the area. It made him wonder if the past had never really left, and if the land still remembered those who once walked it. CCTV captured spirit. This CCTV footage from a quiet parking area captured something unusual. 2 security guards were seen walking around, trying to find the source of strange sounds they kept hearing. Holding flashlights, they searched every corner but found nothing around them. But on the footage, a short, dark figure stood still in one spot, completely visible on the screen, yet invisible to the guards in real time. The figure never moved, just stood there silently. It remained there for several minutes before fading from view. People who watched the clip believe the camera picked up something beyond human sight, a quiet presence that didn't want to be found. Backyard Angel. Late at night, a woman was startled by odd sounds coming from her backyard. Curious and a little nervous, she looked through the small door hole. A tall, pale figure was quietly moving across her backyard. It simply walked with calm steps before slowly fading out of sight, as if it had never been there. Later, she said it didn't feel threatening. In fact, it gave her a strange peace. She believed it may have been an angel passing through her world for reasons still unknown. Angel in church. One quiet night, a security guard heard soft noises coming from inside the church. He walked in to check, but everything looked calm. No sign of anyone around. Out of habit, he later reviewed the CCTV footage. What he saw left him speechless. A faint, childlike figure appeared just behind him, following at a distance as he walked through the aisle. It didn't seem threatening. If anything, its presence felt gentle. After a few seconds, the figure turned and vanished into the air. People believe it wasn't just a spirit, but an angel quietly walking beside him, watching over the sacred space. Shadow Spirit. Everything felt normal in the house until one quiet evening when a strange shadow appeared near the hallway. The owners watched it glide along the wall, even though no one else was there. There were no lights or reflections that could have caused it. The shadow soon disappeared without a sound. Since then, the same shape has been seen a few more times. The family now believes it's a calm spirit that visits occasionally, never causing harm, just quietly passing through the space. Let's move on to the subscriber's pick. During a regular Sunday service, the church was filled with peaceful singing. Everyone was focused on the hymn, unaware that something unusual was being captured on camera. As the choir sang, a soft, glowing light began to form in the back of the hall. It slowly took the shape of a figure with wings, shining gently like morning sunlight through stained glass. The figure didn't move or speak, but some claimed they felt a sudden warmth in the room, almost as if it joined the singing. Within seconds, the glowing presence faded away, leaving behind no trace. The camera footage later confirmed what many felt that day. It wasn't just light or reflection, it was something more. It was an angel quietly visiting the church during prayer. And with that, see you next time.